I'll just wait for that to come through. And then Nancy, if other people don't join us, I think that, one, we're sending the recording out, but you might be helping us plan our planning, which is good because you are all a great colleague, not just somebody who's a participant in a training. So we're going to spend a couple of minutes at the end of Marty's presentation just kind of talking about what comes next, what to think about for the fall, and yeah, what to kind of do at this time going forward.
Sounds good.
Let me know if it went through and if you're able to open it because it's.
Yeah, I got it. Let me just.
If not, I'll try.
No, I think it should be okay. I just need to move my windows around. Do we need sound for anything, or it's just you talking?
No, yeah, just me presenting.
Okay, there you go. And just go ahead and tell me when you want to move slides and get started whenever you're ready.
Okay, let me go ahead and. Okay, so do you want to go ahead? Is it just Nancy? Hi, Nancy.
Hi, Marty. It's so neat to see. I feel like I see you more now than when we were with Head Start.
I know. So, Nancy, tonight we're going to be talking about the Arizona Early Childhood Workforce Registry. I don't know if you're familiar with it. Oh, yeah, you are because you're an instructor. Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah. So I got to feel.
Yeah, but well, you know, it's always good to because I don't visit it as often as I should, and so it's things are always changing, and there might be something new there that I'm not aware of yet. So this will be good.
So we'll make it short and sweet then.
Marty, I would say too, it's nice for us to have a better understanding, but also thinking about the recording that this is going to go out. And I know there's several sites who aren't able to make it 6 o'clock, so they do watch it.
Okay.
Yeah, and the smaller amount of attendance is a nice way to frame our conversation about what should we do next as online attendance has changed. So anyways, yeah, go ahead whenever you're ready.
Okay, so like I said, we are presenting on Arizona Early Childhood Workforce Registry. And my name is Marty Martan, and I am a community engagement specialist for childcare resource and referrals. So tonight we're going to be talking about our Arizona registry. And like we mentioned, many of you might already be familiar with it. And yeah, feel free to share your experience, or if you have any questions, you can also use the chat option and do questions through there. As a disclaimer, Arizona Registry is a tool that CC, R&R, and both the U of A cooperative extensions use, but are not responsible for it. So we'll be presenting this information as a tool and as a resource. Okay, so we can go to the next slide. And so I'm going to be talking about navigating the Arizona Workforce Registry, and I'm going to go through 4 steps. The first one is, what is the Arizona Workforce Registry? How to create an account, and then taking advantage of this tool. Also last is, what is the Career Lattice and where to find the support? So one of the things I want to talk about is the Arizona Workforce Registry. It's an online information system. So you can go, you could go to the next slide. The workforce is an online information system for the early childhood workforce that allows individuals to build a verifiable profile of their education, certification, training, and employment that can assist participants for both the employers and also for the regulatory and accrediting agencies So the Arizona Early Childhood Workforce uses a career lattice as a tool to document the progress of professionals regarding the necessary education, training, development, and experience necessary at each level. So who can use the Arizona Registry? Well, we encourage that everybody that is related to early childhood education to use it and create an account and use the different tools that are available. So especially like the professionals that are working directly with children birth through age 8 in school, in the homes. So that includes like families, friends, and neighbors that are in the care setting. They can do an account and use some of the trainings and enroll. Also the center-based settings, like the preschool teachers, the co-teachers, the volunteers. So basically anybody. Also the administrators working in schools, and that's both the homes and center-based settings. Other programs that support childbirth through age 8. Also, we encourage them. Coaches, mentors, the Arizona Department of Education mentors, the smart support consultants. So basically anybody that has to do in the early childhood field should and can join the Arizona Workforce Registry. So we'll go to the next slide. And so created an account with the Arizona Workforce Registry. There is a YouTube, and actually when you go to arizonaregistry.org, if you go that first page, if you go all the way to the bottom, you'll see register now link, and it'll take you through a step by step through the process. So you'll have to enter your personal information, employment and demographic information. So after you submit your application, you will receive an email to verify. Like I said, if you go further, even in that page, you'll see a link that will send you to a YouTube. It's like a 9-minute video, and that he really goes step by step and explains how to do it and what information you need to put in there. It's really important to always have one of the things every time we use or we're helping or supporting a provider with the Arizona Registry. I always say, if you're able to print the card, print it. That ID, the member ID number always comes in handy, and you're always going to need it. Somebody's always going to ask for it. So and a lot of people don't realize that, and they have a hard time, or they don't think it's that important, so they have a hard time finding, even getting back, like especially if they did. I know like DS requires 12 hours of professional development, and I think the DHS requires, I want to say 18 hours. So sometimes after they're done with those credit hours, they forget about it the rest of the year, and so they tend to lose that number or forget. And so I always say just print it out and just keep it, just like even your CPR or your fingerprint clearance card, just keep it on in hand. So yeah, so once you're signed up, a welcome email is sent to the email address you provided, including in that email will be your username, and then the password and the link to verify your email address. So once you click on that link, and or you can copy and paste the link into the address on your browser, and it will take you to the registry login screen. So you enter your username and your password, and you'll have access to your account. And then from there, you can actually do your profile. And that's the first thing we recommend, really go through your profile and make sure that you've listed all your childhood experience, employment, history employment. One of the things that we're also always encouraging is that make sure that you send any kind of documentation, whether it's to verify, like if you got, your 5 years of being employed at a center, or, whether it's your transcripts from your school. Make sure that you're constantly updating and that you're verifying and making keeping that up to date as far as your profile. Okay, so we can go to the next slide. So enrolling and training, I wanted to take you to the website. I don't know if it's necessary, because I was going to kind of give a couple of tips and then let's see. Are you able to hit on that?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yep. Do you want me to log in? I'll let you direct me. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, if you can log in, that would be nice. And yeah. Wait, I can't. Okay, let's see. Okay. Just want to make sure, is this my?
Nope, this is mine.
Okay, we're both on, oh no, okay.
Yeah, it'll be under mine.
It's going to be a little bit harder for me to, but basically, you know, if you go down and way at the bottom and you look for, I think right there, find training events. And then you have the option, you can, yeah. You know, for me personally, it's easier for me like with dates. Once I have a date on the training, if somebody invited me and they didn't give me all the information, so I'm trying to just put in the date on there. And so, for example, yeah, any date, and then kind of look, and it'll give you, if you do the search, it'll give you all the different options. I always like to remind people that there's a lot of these are free, but some there is price or fees on it. So yeah, you'll find they're $15, $99. So always make sure that you're aware, especially if somebody's working for a center and stuff like that, and you're using their account or on their account somehow, you don't want to add that fee to without your supervisor, somebody knowing. But for the most part, they are free, zero fees. And then if you hit on any of them, Regan, you can hit on any of them and it can walk you, and then way at the bottom, it'll take you to view the details, I think, or the event. So yeah, you'll have, you know, the course ID and then the name of it, a description, and then description, like the agency that's going to be presenting, the instructor usually on there too. So I'll give you, always pay attention to the capacity. Sometimes there's not room, you know, even, or there might be, especially if you're hesitating, if you want to enroll, there might be 1 or 2 spots. So it's really important to pay attention, because by the time you actually say, oh yeah, you know, yeah, I have that schedule open, there might not be any. So, and then, yeah, once you, you decided that that's the class you were looking for, the course you were looking for, you can enroll. And then one of the things also, I always tell everybody that if you decide or something comes up, make sure that you withdraw. That way it doesn't hurt you, it doesn't affect you, because after 3 no-shows, you could be docked on it, or your account could be frozen. So always make sure that, and no big deal if anybody does withdraw. For the most part, it doesn't really affect you, but it is important to make sure that you do withdraw. So yeah, the same thing with, you can go by the counties, if you know the organization, and the same thing, you know, just scroll down and see if there's anything available. Obviously right now, the majority of these classes are being done virtually. Very few, I found that very few are actually starting to do them. So at this point, you know, if somebody's looking to do them in person, very few places. I don't think, yeah,
There's none in Cochise.
Yeah, nobody's doing it at this time.
You can sort by price too, though. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
All zero free.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I was going to remind everybody to make sure that some of these events that are being done virtually, the majority, I find that they're doing it Zoom, but occasionally you do find somebody that's doing it through Google Meet, or any other app. So make sure that when you are registering that you have the correct app, if you decide to join one of them, and that you already have an account. Usually what happens is there's a link. Once you've enrolled and they've accepted and they're say, okay, you know, they usually send an email verifying that that you have enrolled. They'll send the link, or I always find it also easy to go back to the Arizona Registry, and the link is always on there once I'm accepted and as an enrollee. So either way, you'll either get an email or you can go back to your account and find once you're ready to join, or that when the day comes for that event, you could do either or. So yeah, that was that was it for like I said, very different options to enroll in here. So and the nice thing about right now is it's virtual, so it doesn't have to be Cochise County. You can, and if it's free, why not? Once that class is done, a lot of the instructors will ask that you do an evaluation, and then they'll send their certificate, and they'll email that too. Some people do prefer to have their certificates emailed or mailed physically to their homes or an address. I know for like centers and their staff, they require that they print them out and have them on the file. So, and once you have your profile and your account, all that stays in there. So you can always go back, and if you lost it or you didn't get a chance to print it, it should be in your account. It should stay in there, the information of trainings that you attended. Those documents you should be able to find those too. So yeah, I always encourage everybody to kind of play and look at the different, the scholarships are also, if you look to the left column, if you're wanting to know what's available out there, sometimes the scholarships too, you'll, like First Things First scholarship with the rewards, you'll find information there. You can actually submit, I want to say that you can submit for a scholarship on here. You do have to send your documentation when you do your scholarship. You do have to make sure that, I think they give you like 45 days to, once you've sent an application for a scholarship, they do require. So it has many tools. It has many tools on here that you can kind of go and with anything I always encourage kind of play with it and see sometimes you might discover something new on it. So even if you are familiar with it, always go back on it. The one thing too, especially for supervisors, directors, administrators for centers, is that kind of look and see what's something that your staff can benefit from, and look and see. I'm not sure, I've never actually done it, but I'm not sure if you can do it as a large group, or if normally, like all the staff they each have their own account, so they can go and register themselves. And that's normally how I find that the majority do it. So I'm not sure if you can do it as a group, but yeah.
I don't know. There's some sites like, well, I'm not gonna say who, in case maybe that's not what they should be doing, but like a couple sites that the center manager is like the keeper of the numbers, and she's entering everything for everybody and just really taking on an administrative role to do that for them. I don't think some of them have ever been really in the registry, because the center manager does most of it for them.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Right. So I think we could go back to the PowerPoint. So, and then okay, and so the career lattice, there is, I think, right there on this slide, and I don't know if we can get it out to, well, Nancy, you can kind of look at the lattice to see as far as a couple pages, really good information on how it works and how, like, you can set yourself goals, to go into the next one, into the next lattice. This is really the nice piece about this, and I liked, is like even as a training piece for staff, like if administrator or director kind of encouraged and you know, for like teachers or co-teachers or volunteers, like if they want to continue in this field, that how they can move up the lattice, and you know, what are good goals. So even to set goals for anybody, this would be a good piece, and keep track of what they have and what they're wanting to achieve, and what's the next step to achieve the next. So these are really, I found it a really nice piece. And like I said, it's a whole, I want to say it's like 6-7 pages, maybe 7 pages of the lattice information, you know, how it works. And the different, yep. So, and you know, this is statewide. This is, you know, this is a statewide tool that everyone's using. So whether, you know, if you happen to move to another city within Arizona, you'll have your account available, and you can continue to grow in this area and look at your lattice and say, okay, this is where I'm at. And like I said, really important piece is that to make sure that you're sending your documentation. Like if you finished a class at the college, or, you know, you've achieved your or make sure that you're sending that documentation and uploading it and sending it to them. So yeah, again, on that left side, you'll find where to download or where to submit your documentation. Okay. And so I think the last slide, we can go to the next slide. So for support and contact information, Christine Nishimura, I think I'm saying it correctly, is the outreach coordinator for coaches. So I have left her number there, and then her email. So especially, I know, like at one point I was having a hard time. I hadn't used it for a long time, and then I was having a hard time going back in. So yeah, I contacted her, and immediately she was able to help me set it back up. And then you have also the contact information in the Phoenix area, and there's a fax and a phone number, and then also the email that you would be able to contact if you're having a hard time or have a question about your account. And I think that was it for me.
So, any questions from anybody from Marty about the registry? I know there's been, you know, a lot of conversation about changing it, adding like Spanish translation to the registry. Like that's a big barrier for a lot of people. Obviously that hasn't happened yet, but it's still in conversation. And definitely, if anybody's watching this later and is having trouble with the registry, please reach out to any of us, and we're happy to support you, either ourselves or connect you with somebody that can.
And Regan, and I also find it like it's really nice because I've gone in there and there's like a lot of training and courses that are in Spanish. So I mean, you
can get to them. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, so a lot of people are offering them in Spanish, so it's very nice. And like everything, you know, all the ones that are required by DS, the majority of them are in Spanish.
Yeah. And if you're offering, I don't know if this has been a problem for you, Maria, or if anyone is watching later the recording, the AZ Registry office is super helpful with getting presenters in. You know, a while back when we first got our cooperative extension in, and myself and I think Christy Stuth, who was doing oral health at the time, in as presenters, we just asked for help and were able to get it and walk us through that. So they're definitely user-friendly.
Yes, I actually didn't know much about this, so this was actually really helpful for me as well. With the presenters thing, that's a very good thing to know, so I will look into it.
Yeah, yeah, it's nice. And I will say there's even been time, like, for example, the Empower half day that we were gonna do last Saturday, I had more people register through the registry than from the Zoom account that we had emailed out. So Maria, that might be a good source of gathering people for you. So yeah, let me know if you need help with that, or Marty can, or whoever can help you.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. Any other thoughts, Marty? I see Andrea put in the chat, the registry is quick to respond to questions. Yeah, hi Andrea. Yeah, Nancy's the convenience of being able to sign up for, yeah, it is definitely convenient, especially once you get the hang of it, like searching through things that you like and that you want, and by topic area, you know, if you're short in social emotional learning, you can sort by that or something. So it's dog walking time in my neighborhood. That's what's happening right now. Thank you, Marty. I thank you for presenting on that and giving us a good picture of what that looks like. I think especially for people who've heard about it but haven't maybe visualized it or seen it, that was a great presentation. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. No problem.
Well, if there aren't questions,